Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving. It's a wonderful week to all be here celebrating tremendous progress in maintaining and building this mass transit system of ours and also running service. I'm Jamie Torres-Springer. I'm the president of MTA Construction and Development. We'll be joined very shortly by our chair, Jano Lieber. I'm also joined by my colleagues, Kathy Sheridan, who runs our Bridges and Tunnels Agency at the MTA, and Demetrius Kriklo, Senior Vice President for the Department of Subways, responsible for this great subway system of ours. And we're also really pleased to be joined by some of the best elected officials that we get a chance to work with and who constantly keep the pressure on us, but also support us day in and day out. Our U.S. Representative, Grace Meng, State Assemblyman Ron Kim is here with us today. New York City Council member Sandra Ng, who does such a wonderful job representing this district in the New York City Council. And I left him, last but not least, certainly Donovan Richards, Queensborough president, such a tremendous ally for all of us in the work that we do. So thank you all for being here. We have two agenda items that we're here to focus on today. The first is from a capital investment point of view, state of good repair, system improvement point of view. We're here to celebrate the completion of a series of investments here at the Flushing Main Street Terminal Station on the 7 line. We'll come back to that in a second. And then second, some service updates to provide from my colleagues on service coming into this very busy Thanksgiving week. But we're thrilled to be here to celebrate the investments that we've completed at Flushing Main Street, which will benefit the tens of thousands of 7-line customers who use this station every day. This station sees 44,000 users, riders, use it each weekday, which is it's just tremendously busy station and a really important station as part of our network and for this community. And now with the completion of this renewal project here at Flushing Main Street, the station is much improved for the customer experience. We focused here on addressing the circulation traffic jams and rush hour bottlenecks that riders in this station know all too well. How did we do that? We expanded the station's footprint to the south of the station on the other side of Main Street on Roosevelt Avenue, where we added 2 new entrances. Within those entrances, we added 6 new turnstiles. We built in total 8 new staircases across this station complex, and we rebuilt 8 existing staircases. So 16 staircases either built or refurbished in total within this station, and all refurbished in a way to make them more ADA compliant, more accessible, in addition to the elevators and escalators that we have as part of this station. Together, these improvements will rebalance the flow of passengers entering and navigating the station, and that means a better customer experience all around. But it's not just about the customer experience. We're investing in our subway system and our transit system more broadly to make sure that it's able to last another 100 years and beyond by keeping it in a state of good repair. And we did that here too. We rehabilitated and strengthened steel structures that were reaching the end of their useful life. We repaired chipping concrete in the station's ceiling and its foundation. And very importantly, we dealt with leaks to prevent water damage, which poses one of the biggest threats to our infrastructure, not just because of the erosion that it causes, but also because of the greater and greater volumes of rainwater that the MTA has to pump out of our system due to changing climate conditions. Those enhancements were planned to complement the MTA's holistic set of investments all across the 7 line. We just completed station renewals at Junction Boulevard in October and at Hunters Point earlier this month, and we're performing work on 8 other stations in Queens right now, in addition to making major improvements to passenger flows at the Grand Central 7 station, which improves overall accessibility. And we also are conducting state of good repair work to give the Flushing line the TLC it deserves. So to celebrate this, I want to thank the team members who worked so tirelessly to get this project over the finish line, our wonderful C&D staff, Project CEO Rajendra Shah and Program Director Bhargav Shah. We also had a great team from New York City Transit that supported this work. And our business unit lead is here today, Bill Montanili, who's making improvements to stations all across this system. And our consulting contract manager, construction manager, Hill International, and also our design build contractor from ECHO, represented here by Paul, their CEO, who have done a great job on this project and have done great work for the MTA all across the region for many years, and we've seen very successful results from this design build project. So thank you to all of you for the improvements to this station. And before we call on our elected official colleagues for a few words, I'll ask Janna Lieber to say a few words.
Jamie. So I'm going to be brief because Jamie's given you the skinny already, but mostly I want to start out by thanking the elected officials who are, this is an all-star team of elected officials who support transit every day, not just this project, but in everything we do. So huge kudos to U.S. Congressmember Grace Meng, Assembly Member Ron Kim, City Council Member Sandra Ung, and my friend and a constant partner in the MTA effort, everything we do, Borough President Donovan Richard. You always support the MTA, and you also push us pretty hard to deliver for Queens, and we feel it, and we also appreciate you. I apologize for being late. Respect to all of those who were delayed. We had a little police activity on the train, but I am here, and I just want to say a couple of short things. One, this is the busiest station in Queens. 44,000 customers every weekday, so it is the most congested in terms of passenger circulation. So that is why the investments that are made, we're not building a whole new line, but we're investing in the people and their experience of using mass transit, because we want everybody to feel that the mass transit experience is great. We want them to come back. We want them to use the system. This was a big project, big. Jamie described the details, but newsflash, on time, under budget. People always want to talk about projects in the past that were started under George Pataki or Nelson Rockefeller that took too long or that are over budget. The MTA today, under Jamie Torres Springer, who leads our capital program construction development operation, is getting big projects done on time, on budget, and in many cases under budget, and this is yet another one. I'm going to leave it at that and then turn it over to our incredible roster of elected officials. Tim, am I supposed to talk about, we're going to talk about holiday later. Okay, so with no further delay, let me thank and welcome to the microphone U.S. Congressional Member Grace Meng.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Congresswoman Grace Meng, and such an honor to be here with my colleagues in government, with Chairman Lieber, and everyone who made this project possible. Like Chairman Lieber said, this is the busiest station in Queens, but also one of the top 10 busiest stations in the entire city of New York. The intersection, Main and Roosevelt, right above the station, is the second most congested intersection out of the entire city of New York. So our community and our neighborhood here really needed these improvements which, as has been said, have been on time and under budget. As someone who works in the federal government, who is working closely with the Biden-Harris administration to bring more federal dollars to infrastructure and mass transit projects to the city of New York and to Queens, we love it when we hear that projects are on time and under budget, and hopefully it will encourage the federal government to give Queens and the city even more money. You can clap for that. So I just wanted to be here today to say thank you. This is a great holiday gift for our constituents, not just in Flushing, but all throughout Queens. This is a major hub where people from all over the borough come. And I want to take a point of personal privilege to also thank Chairman Lieber because him, myself, and my colleagues in government have been working closely, as you've seen in the last few days and weeks, to make sure that people who are disabled disabled, that people who are using walkers, people who are using strollers for their children, that they have better access to our mass transit. And I'm grateful for the MTA for working so closely on that, including many stops on both the subway and the Long Island Railroad within our congressional district. So thanks for including me today.
Thank you. Assemblymember Kim? Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Lieben and the MTA executive team for this wonderful announcement in downtown Flushing. The 7 train, this station, along with my colleagues, have such wonderful memories for me. As an immigrant, this is the first train that I rode when I came here at the age of 6 from South Korea. My parents, my mom, before she passed, she still rode the subway almost every day. My wife continues to take this train to the city almost every week. So any improvement, I know firsthand the impact that it has on working families and beyond. This is an economic investment that would have 10 times the return not only in Queens, but for the state of New York. The people that ride this train are the ones that are driving the economy, the small businesses, and everything in between for this state. And it's about time we're putting meaningful investments. And the Congressmember Grace Meng is absolutely correct that we have to take full advantage of the President Joe Biden's Infrastructure Act. The MTA is at the forefront. I'm very biased. It's one of my favorite agencies. We have a top-notch team in the entire world. We should be very proud of what we have here, and we should be leading the way in public financing and leveraging every dollar we have in Washington and beyond to improve on the outer borough infrastructure, because this is where it matters. Not every road leads to Manhattan, folks. Most roads lead to outer boroughs these days, and MTA is taking the lead, finally, to invest in Flushing and beyond. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Wow, listen to that elected official. We love it. Before I turn the microphone over to Sandra Ung, I just want to acknowledge we are also joined by Ashley Lynn, who is representing State Senator John Liu. John Liu is a friend of the MTA. He's also somebody who gives me some of the hardest questions come budget time. We all know that. But he's a longtime friend and supporter of public transit. And I just want to acknowledge his representative who's here with us today. But now let's hear from our city council member representing this district, Sandra Ung.
Thank you, Chairman, and good morning, everyone. Today marks a significant milestone for the Main Street subway station, which so many mass transit users is a heart of the daily commute. Flushing is one of, if not the busiest, bus to train transfer in the whole city, which makes Main Street a vital hub in our transit system. But as anyone who passed through this station knows, this makes Flushing, Main Street Flushing, one of the most congested stations in the transit system, which creates a struggle for many of our daily commuters, which I know because I actually use this train station for my daily commute to City Hall. So recognizing this challenge, the MTA undertook an ambitious project to improve the passenger flow through the stations and alleviate some of the congestion. And I want to thank the MTA for working so efficiently to complete this project while minimizing the impact to the neighborhood. I also want to thank all the small businesses that's been impacted by this project. Thank you for your patience. I know it's a lot, but I also want to thank the MTA for working with our office to make sure that they know what was going on. They have up-to-date information. So again, thank you for all small businesses. I believe this is such an investment in this community, and this improvement will really make sure that every commuter who passes through Flushing will have a much better experience. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All righty. Well, thank you to Jano, to the entire MTA executive team, and I guess since I'm the closer amongst the electeds, we can certainly say that this is a gravy project. Got it? Thanksgiving is tomorrow. Gravy. This is gravy. Not a turkey. All right, not a turkey though. But truly, I really want to thank the MTA. You know, this symbolizes what we should be doing. Just as my colleague, Assemblymember Ron Kim said. More growth is happening in the outer boroughs than other places. I know we're used to Manhattan, but we also got Main Street. And Main Street deserved this investment a long, long time ago. As it was alluded to, 44,000 individuals every day come through this station. And as we talk about transit equity, we have to ensure that we're continuing to center neighborhoods from Flushing to Jamaica to ensure that no matter what your socioeconomic status is, no matter what your zip code is, that you have access to a quality subway station, access to quality service, and this is what the MTA is delivering on a day like this. So I'm really proud to be here. I look forward, since Jano mentioned that this project was under budget, I want to know where the rest of those dollars are because I want them reinvested right back in other train stations in Queens, of course. I just got to say it. How much under budget was this, Jano? All right, so we're at 8 stations. We need to double that to 16, and let's keep delivering these projects under budget. Thank you, congratulations. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone.
It is an amazing group of elected leaders in this community, and we are so blessed. I don't want to finish without acknowledging there's one person we haven't heard from who's really in some ways the star of the show. Demetrius Critchlow runs the New York City subway system, and he, under the leadership of Rich Davey, the president of New York City Transit, have brought us the best on-time performance in the subways in 10 years. That is part of the reason the MTA is pulling people back to mass transit, pulling people back to jobs and theater and shopping and all the things that they use mass transit to do. So please, a round of applause for the New York City Transit subway operation. Tim.
We're going to do questions on topic first before we get to service updates. So if you have questions about what's going on in the station, the upgrades, we'll take those now. Then we're going to do service updates and other business. Nia Clark right there, New York 1. Nia, go ahead.
It's coming close.
Actually, I just want to know, since it is, day before Thanksgiving, how upgrades like this help improve holiday travel during this time of the year.
I'm sorry?
How do upgrades like this improve holiday travel was the question.
Listen, what we've been talking about today is a station needs to be, it's got a lot of people, it's congested, and the circulation has to work. So just for people to be able to use this amazing system, these improvements make a difference. All these escalators make it possible for people of all ages and in all mobility situations who are carrying packages, who are bringing home turkeys from their relatives to get around. That is one of the benefits of this project. 16 new or replaced escalators and vertical circulation elements. So that is part of the benefit, and we're celebrating it today on a huge milestone for everybody.
All right, other questions on topic? All right, very well. For the folks watching in the newsrooms, we're going to send you a B-roll loop while we're resetting for a service update. For the elected officials here, you're free to stay, free to go. We're really glad that you could come. Thank you. All right, everybody, once again, here is Jano Lieber.
All right. Listen, this is a busy, busy travel week. We want to run through what the MTA is doing at the commuter railroads and otherwise to make your travel more convenient. Today, Metro North is operating regular service with 9 additional early getaway trains. We all know people are leaving the office early in many cases. And those trains will be departing Grand Central this afternoon early. Long Island Railroad running its regular weekday schedule. On Thanksgiving Day, tomorrow, both railroads are running extra service to support spectators who are heading to the parade. Check the Train Time app, that's the MTA app for commuter railroad schedules and tickets. Check the Train Time app for the most up-to-date schedules. Long Island Railroad has 6 extra trains timed perfectly for those who want to get an early start and claim their spot along the parade route. Between 6 a.m. and 7:45 a.m., we have 6 extra trains. 3 westbound trains each on the Babylon branch and on the Ronkonkoma branch. Then, afterwards, there are going to be another 5 eastbound trains going back towards Long Island, departing Penn between 11:45 and 1:25 p.m., 2 heading to Babylon, 3 to Ronkonkoma. So special service for everybody going to and from the parade. Metro North will likewise provide additional inbound and outbound service before and after the parade, along with expanded evening service for customers returning to the city from points north. Back to on Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, also known as Black Friday, Metro North is going to operate an enhanced Saturday schedule with additional inbound service in the morning and outbound in the afternoon. Again, trying to deal with the reality that people are going to want to come in to the city to enjoy that day off or to get an early start on their holiday shopping. On Friday, Long Island Railroad will operate a regular weekday schedule. Both will have off-peak fares in effect all day on Friday. So with that, let me turn it over to Demetrius, and then we'll hear from Triborough Bridge and Tunnel Authority President Kathy Sheridan. Demetrius.
Demetrius Critchlow, Senior Vice President of Subways. We are excited about this upcoming weekend, holiday season. We're committed to providing the best service that we can throughout Thanksgiving weekend, and we've committed to doing that by delivering safe and reliable service. So for Thanksgiving Day, a Sunday schedule will be operated for both buses and for subways. For buses, expect all buses in Manhattan to be impacted, especially in Midtown, with buses in the frozen zone being rerouted. Routes and branches that don't operate on Sunday won't operate on Thanksgiving Day. On Black Friday, we will have a reduced weekday schedule. Some service are modified or do not operate. But for Saturday and Sunday, we'll have regular service for both days on the bus side. For our subway side, we're operating Sunday service on Thursday with additional service on specific routes to target our customers who are going to the parade. On the Broadway line, the 7th Avenue line, for the 1, 2, and 3, you'll see increased service between 6:30 and 9 o'clock a.m. And the 42nd Street Shuttle will have additional service between 6:30 and 11:30 a.m. For Saturday and Sunday, November 25th and 26th, there'll be major construction to continue with upgrading our amazing system on the following lines. The Brighton, for track replacement work, where there'll be no service in Brooklyn between Prospect Park and Coney Island, and free shuttle bus service is in place. And the Culver line, for our signal modernization CBTC work, there'll be no service in Brooklyn between Church Avenue and Coney Island with free buses. We limited the amount of work that we're doing this weekend specifically to support our customers and their travels this weekend. So thank you. The best system to ride this weekend is our system. The best way to get around is by traveling by subways, so we encourage you to do so. We've added additional customer service agents. We've added maintenance teams. We've added people at different locations to be able to greet our customers. We're allowing for our system to provide the most seamless travel as possible for our customers. We want to give you the information to get to where you need to get. We have people out there to do it. For purchasing your fares, we have people out there to support you in those efforts. And we have people out there to support our customers with accessibility for elevators and escalators. So please, ride the subway. It's the best way to ride, and we'll be ready to take your support. And with that, I'll turn it over to Kathy Sheridan, our amazing partner.
Thanks, Demetrius, and good morning. So I can't reinforce enough the best way to travel to the parade and in and around New York City is by the commuter railroads and the subway. If you have to drive, it's our goal to get you there as efficiently and as safely as possible. And to do that, we've actually suspended all routine maintenance and construction as of yesterday at noon, and that will run through 6 a.m. on Monday. We've also got to focus on the weather. I think the worst is behind us, but we have an eye on that, and if we need to, we will respond as appropriate, but we don't expect that to be an issue this weekend. Finally, we'll have enhanced enforcement in accordance with the governor's Thanksgiving safety message. If you are going to drive, please don't do that as if you are impaired. Don't drink and drive. We want you to get to your destination safely. So with that, happy Thanksgiving and travel safe.
And just remember that just as we want everybody to stay safe, we also want our friends who are driving across those toll tunnels to pay their tolls. So don't mess around with your license plate. We have a challenge. A lot of people are doing this. Kathy Sheridan's got a parking lot full of Mercedes and other fancy cars of people who are messing around with license plate and trying to evade tolls. Not a good idea. Please, please stay out of trouble and don't mess with the license plates.
We may have a question here. Back to Nia Clark from New York One.
Thanks. Just wondering, are you going to have increased police presence in the subways over the next several days? And if so, can you provide some numbers on what that looks like and potentially where?
Well, listen, I mean, New Yorkers have gotten accustomed to the fact that there are a lot more police present in the subway system than in days of yore, where we have them at all the major stations. We have them both on platforms and on trains and by the fare array, making sure things go smoothly as people come in and pay their fares. So there are a lot of NYPD in the system. There are a lot of MTA PD, both in the subway system at key terminals, also in the commuter railroad system. We'll give you some specific numbers. I don't have those handy, but New Yorkers are going to see the police presence out there all through the weekend and all through our transit system. It's part of our successful strategy of keeping the system safe as we bring people back to riding mass transit.
All right. Go ahead.
Sorry. Last question. Have you been seeing an increase or an uptick in violence around the holidays the last several years at all?
No, I think what we've seen is that people are coming back to transit and they want to feel safe, and what they're telling us is that they want to see cops on the system, and that has been happening. That they appreciate the messages about cops on the platforms. That's been happening, and that obviously their biggest concern is the sense, a little bit getting away from the sense of disorder that crept into the system during COVID. We made a lot of progress. The system is safe and it feels safe.
All right, other questions? Do you have a question? No? Anybody else? All right, thanks everybody. Thank you very much.